Thank you for joining me for another week of InfoSec Unplugged. I am your host, Davin Jackson, also known as DJax on Twitter. Thank you for joining. I apologize for the slow start, but there was there were a few little issues, but we should be good now. Still waiting for our guest to arrive, but in the meantime, I wanted to talk to you guys for a minute anyway, so this kind of works out for me. So first, this is the fourth episode in the official InfoSec Unplugged talk show or podcast, however you want to do it. And I want to say thank you to everybody who made this possible. I want to thank my previous guests, so De'Ara J. Footman, John Breath, Tyrone Wilson, who actually was the one who kind of made this all happen. I really want to thank you guys for everything. I also want to thank the supporters, the people who are watching, the people who, have kind words or comments on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. Thank you to everybody. And like I said, because of you, we can keep this going. And I also want to announce, if you guys are tired or don't want to see, this handsome mug all the time, I will be launching the audio version of this podcast very soon, so you can watch the show as you go. We want to make sure you can access this wherever. I'm working on a couple things or different streaming platforms. I'm thinking probably, Spotify, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. So I'm finalizing the information to get that stuff running. I just wanted to see how this would go and how this would turn out. And so far it's been great. Obviously, I'm just me. So it's not like I have millions of viewers, but I do appreciate everybody who does, listen and watch the show. So, where to begin? Anybody, if you guys want to chat, put anything in the chat, feel free. Again, anybody who's new to this show, this is pretty much like an open platform. I even offer you guys to come on and join the show from time to time. I'll actually put up the link if you want to just, pop in and say a couple things. So I just put the link in the chat. So if you're new here, InfoSec Unplugged is where I talk to various people in the cybersecurity and tech communities about different aspects of their job, career advice, anything that they want to share. And we just have a real conversation. So, like I said, I wanted to talk about a couple things because it's definitely been an interesting week or two. So for those who don't know, we had an election. And don't worry, I'm not going to get too caught up into it. I really don't care either way, and I'm going to kind of explain why I don't think you should either. At the end of the day, they all have a job to do, and they have people that they want to please, and hopefully those people are us. But if not, we still need to make sure, we do for ourselves. Stay focused, keep your eye on the prize, don't worry, don't let everything that's going on in the news, get you down or make you feel any differently about what it is you want to do and the goals you want to achieve. I wanted to say that last week, but that was a little impossible to say it because I know it was a little hectic with everybody, watching what was going on with the election. But now would be a perfect time to just say, okay, you know what, we got that out of the way. We know what's going to happen one way or the other. So, keep your eye on the prize, stay focused, and just keep it pushing. Keep It Techie says, hey, how you doing, sir? Hope everything is well. So yeah, like I said, so that's my little tidbit with as far as the election is concerned, just keep your eye on the prize. Also, we had the Marines' birthday as well as Veterans Day this past week. And shout out to all of the veterans. I'm a veteran myself, but to be honest with you, I get a little nervous, or not nervous, but I get a little anxious when people say, Happy Veterans Day to me, because although, yes, I am a veteran and yes, I did serve, there are several of us, fellow brothers and sisters in arms, who served, gave the ultimate sacrifice. Some came back and are somewhat forgotten. So I want to take the opportunity to, acknowledge them and implore all the listeners or all the viewers that, support our veterans. What happens to our veterans after they come back from serving, whether they go overseas or, they go to combat zones. A lot of them, don't get the treatment that they need. And, and like I said, they're somewhat forgotten. So if you can, help out any way you can and support our veterans. You could go to like the Wounded Warrior Project, donate it, whatever you can, find a way to support some veterans. They really need the help. Unfortunately, the powers that be are kind of dragging their feet a little when it comes to getting the veterans all the treatment that they need. But, thankfully there are organizations like this that will help provide support for our veterans. So please make sure you do that. So let's see, what else can we talk about? We talked about Veterans Day being this week. We talked about the election briefly. I also wanted to take some time to acknowledge a few people. People who I see who are doing great things, whether it's on Twitter, in the InfoSec field, wherever I see them. I wanted to take some time out. Alpha Cybersecurity, my goal is to kind of help people get in the tech field as well. And it's not just only me out there. There are several people out there who I think, you should take a look at and support, because they're very helpful and very informative in things that they do. So I want to start with giving a shout out to DFIR Diva, Elon Wright. She has an amazing website that is full of resources for people who are trying to get in the field, people who want to get into incident response or digital forensics. She has up stuff for, new people in the field. She has support. She has stuff for people who, who are looking for affordable or free training. She has a lot of stuff on her website, on her blog site. So I would definitely recommend checking her out. And also I want to thank her for her support of the show. I also want to shout out Cyber Warrior and Cyber Warrior Studios. Check him out. He has a lot of great stuff and a lot of great content on his YouTube channel. He does, he also has a podcast. So please check him out. He goes live Fridays with the InfoSec Security Happy Hour. So check him out. Someone else who I appreciate, and I'm hoping to get her on the show one of these days. I haven't spoken to her yet, but if you're watching, Tanya Janka of We Hack Purple, she has a lot of stuff going on with her application security group. She's coming up with training. She just released a book. I ordered it. I don't have it yet. I will post it when I get it. But Alice and Bob Learn Application Security. Definitely check her out. She has a ton of resources, and she's also very, very helpful to people who are trying to get into the field. I can speak to that personally. Also, Philip Wiley, if you haven't checked him out, he's been everywhere. He's definitely someone else who I admire. He runs like the Pwn School, and he also has a book on like the penetration tester blueprint, I believe. If I'm butchering the title, please correct me. But he has something coming out very soon. And let's see, who else can I think of? You've probably heard her name a couple times. Ari Hale, Nerd Nomad Mom. Again, she's not necessarily cybersecurity related, but she also has a lot of resources to kind of just help you get out there and just get in that mindset of being, an entrepreneur or marketing or whatever. And Trying to get her on the show. So Ari, if you're listening, check your DMs. So let's see. Finally, like I talked about the podcast and everything, I really want to produce really high quality content. So I've been working with Buy Me a Coffee. It's called Buy Me a Coffee, but I don't think I need any more coffee. But what I'm doing with that is if you can donate or you can support, or if you want to leave any comments or suggestions, you can chip in $5, $10, whatever it is you want, to support the movement of what we're trying to do here. Like I said, I have some big things going on. If you follow me on Twitter, I don't want to jinx stuff just yet, knocking on wood, but I do have some stuff I want to do that's really going to help people get the information they need to help themselves find jobs in this field, especially during these times with COVID and everything. I think will be very helpful for people looking to get jobs, and as well as people looking to hire people to get jobs. So I think I've rambled long enough. I want to introduce my guest. He is the founder of Visual Torch. He is also a co-host of the podcast Pardon the Penetration. He's a penetration tester and someone who I've been watching for a little while. So ladies and gentlemen, everybody in here, please welcome my guest, Trenton Brooks.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Sorry for being a little late. Just got off of work, so.
Hey, listen, we all been there, man. It's not a problem. So I gave a brief introduction and I talked for about 20 minutes. I think they're tired of listening to me. So why don't you tell them who you are and what you do?
Okay, so my name is Trenton Brooks. You may have seen from my podcast YouTube that I have with my co-host Jordan Barrett. Shout out! It's actually her birthday, so everyone give Jordan.
I was gonna say happy birthday.
A happy birthday! You can see her. It's sweet Cyber Jones. So if you ever see me tweet that, we have a podcast, Pardon the Penetration. I'm the founder of Visual Torch, is my own security consulting firm, where I'm just hoping to help small businesses upgrade their security posture. As far as InfoSec, I'm actually working as a subcontractor up here in the DMV area. I'm out of InfoSec right now just because I'm trying to find an InfoSec project. So I'm working help desk right now. So I'm kind of like in that middle phase, waiting for stuff to open up. But I have had experience as an information security analyst doing vulnerability scans, setting up for remediation, and doing client audits and things like that.
Okay. So you're in that transition of getting into the field.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for something to open up.
Oh no, that's dope. I mean, so I see, like I said, you have your show with Pardon the Penetration, and what I like about it is you guys have your take on certain things that might pop up in the news or things that might get overlooked in the news. And I believe it's you, your co-host, and then you have another gentleman by the name of Jay. Yeah. And like I said, I find it really entertaining. I saw a couple of them where you guys actually tried to do some of the little exploits right there live on the show. Quick disclaimer, don't do anything without permission. But just talk about how you guys came up with that, where it's going. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it started off, all three of us met at University of South Florida where we went to school at. I had no idea that Jordan was in the InfoSec. I went to B-Sides out in Tampa and I saw her there. I'm like, Jordan? So we talked there. Justin Jay, he actually hit me up one day. He had her on the line, said, hey, Jordan's thinking about doing a podcast talking about cybersecurity. Would you be interested in? I was like, yeah, I'm down. And then she was right on the line. So we just started hashing out ideas and things like that. And we originally just wanted it to be where coming into InfoSec, I didn't see anybody who looked like me. I was on Twitter. We didn't see anybody who looked like us. As soon as we launched the podcast, then that's when I started following like you. I started following more people in InfoSec. I started saying, okay, we do have that visibility. And we just wanted to break the barrier. We wanted people who look like us, sound like us, lived like us to be able to present and show that we can present cybersecurity in a positive way. So we started off with reporting stuff that happened in the news. And from there, we decided, it kind of gets a little bit repetitive hearing the same thing. This place got breached, that place got breached. Yeah, you need to patch your servers, things like that. So we decided to focus on things that people really want to talk about, like burnout, being an ally. We actually had before this Share the Mic and Cyber event, we had an ally podcast. We talked about whether you wanted to get a cert or a degree, the famous debate. Right now, because of COVID, we're currently revamping. I'm away. I'm in the DMV area right now. She's still back in Florida. So we're just trying to figure out what we want to do and revamp it for next year. So we come back stronger and give you guys a more presentable, even better information. So.
And the funny thing is, I thought you guys were in Atlanta, because when I don't know why, maybe it was I saw something on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I got to reach out to them and see if I could be, get on the show. But
yeah, we definitely got to have you, even though once we get back up, we definitely have to have you. But yeah, that was just a 6-hour drive for us. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, when you do get back into Florida, if you go back to Florida or whatever, it is a 6-hour drive. We could link something up. I mean, there's a lot of different conferences between Georgia and Florida.
Yeah.
But another thing that I think we were both on the panel, the Black Men in Cyber panel,
yes,
for the Secret Con.
Yeah.
Talk about your experience with that.
So funny enough, I actually had imposter syndrome most of the time because I'm sitting there with you guys with Professor Brazier. I'm just like, I'm here right now. Like I'm really on this panel with men of influence in cyber, people who have a voice. And I was able, share my insight, communicate with you guys, link up. That gave, a lot of backing that we get to see each other. We get to talk to each other. We get to see each other here and there, like a retweet, but actually being on a panel and hearing everybody's input live, it was a great thing and empowered me. Like I had imposter syndrome for like maybe 3-4 minutes, and then I was like, okay, it's time.
Well, listen, I was the same way, because again, I see you, I see Ty, and like I said, shout out to Ty. I think he is here. I saw a little comment, but I'm gonna respond to that later. But yeah, there was you, there was Ty, there was Xavier. Both Xaviers, yeah, Professor Brazier, everybody was on there, and I was like, man, I'm here, so it's definitely scary, but it's also rewarding. And like you said, to just be on a panel with a bunch of like-minded people who all look alike and, have different experiences, it really brings it home that, there's a space for us here.
Yeah.
So, so talk about your decision to, you said you're doing help desk stuff. Talk about your decision to get into the InfoSec field and what that's been like.
Getting into InfoSec, it was kind of a choice for me. Coming into college, I'm going to college. I'm mostly going to have to finance it. So I need something that interests me that's also going to give me the opportunity to make money. So at first I was doing computer science. It was good, but I don't like science like that. So physics was really whooping me. So we transitioned over to IT. IT for our school switched over to information studies. And as soon as I graduated, people really don't know what information studies is. It's the process of how people store information, process information. It's kind of paired with library sciences. So going around, going to different interviews, I was like, man, I'm just not getting what I need in my career field, not seeing what I want. And I actually worked at Capital One for a little bit doing fraud investigation. So whenever someone would swipe a credit card and you say, hey, don't recognize these charges, it'll file a claim, and then we would go and investigate that claim to see if it was actually real. So I was there right after the Target hack and right when the Home Depot hack was going on. And from there, I was like, man, I'm interested in this. I'm tracking down people, whether it be false, whether it be positive. I'm seeing these things happen in real time. So I'm like, you know what? I want to go to school for something that has to do with hacking. I was like, well, I want to go to school for cybersecurity. And I didn't know which avenue I wanted to get into yet. Still trying to figure that out. But I pursued to go back to school, get my master's in information assurance from Regis University. And I ended up getting a specialization in cybersecurity. So being there, doing a couple classes, it really opened my eyes. I was like, I like this. I'm in my groove now. And then I decided to move on to InfoSec from where I was at. Actually, because I was going to school, they kind of threw a label on me for one of my positions because I was going through an audit for information security manager.
Mhm.
So just imagine someone fresh new out of school with no InfoSec experience. They want to say, hey, manage this and write a whole bunch of policies and procedures to get us past this compliance check.
Yeah, that no pressure.
No.
No pressure, but we want to put you out here and answer some questions. So you mentioned earlier the certifications versus degree debate. Where are you on that debate? On what side are you on?
I'm on the find what works for you side because not everyone can afford to go back to school or want to take out some more loans to finance. It goes to whatever you feel like you could do best. My thing is, if you're going to get a cert, also try and do some hands-on experience. Go to meetups, things like that.
Mhm.
Don't just cert chase just for the title. You need to actually have a backing to it. One of my last job, my CISO there, he was telling me about the CEH exam, and he was saying how some people just come straight to him with a CEH, with CEH certification, but he's known from CEH testers, people, professional cert getters that test been test done. So he's like, if you just got that really quickly, then I don't know what experience you have. But because someone like me, I went to school and I got some type of hands-on experience, he decided, I'll take my chance on him. So if you can go to school and you can afford it, go do that. If you're going to go get cert, do the modules, do the labs, put in the time, and don't just go, because it's great to have that paper knowledge, but when something hits the fan and you need to know how to do something, you're gonna be called upon. So
Right. Now I tell people all the time, get the certifications because one, you want to get them, and the jobs are looking for them. The certifications get your foot in the door. The certifications get you the interview, but the skills are what get you paid.
Yeah.
So and being paper certified, they, especially in pen testing jobs, they will sniff that out quickly, especially when if you make it past the first batch of interviews and you have a technical interview, or they put you in front of a VM and they're like, okay, get root. So definitely make sure you get the skill set to go along with it. Sometimes I think not even sometimes, all the time, that the hands-on skills is more important than the piece of paper.
It does, and you have to be able to show them that you can think, even if you get the answer wrong, just having the critical thinking skills is what tells them, hey, I can take a chance. He's thinking in the right way. He or she may just need a little nudging in the right direction, a little bit of shaping, but definitely the skills will speak for itself.
Right. So so you're actually in a very what's the word I'm looking for? You're in a I guess strange position, so to speak. So you're learning it, but then you also started a business.
Yeah.
So you're literally, you're taking on a lot because you're taking in all the information in this field, and the field is ever changing.
Yeah.
But then you're also translating that into trying to run a business. Now, speaking from someone who is trying to do that, I commend you. Just the fact that you can even put it out there, because I'm literally playing both sides. Like, I'm working full time and I'm trying to do that, and I'm trying to find a sleep. So what motivated you to start Visual Torch, and just how's that going?
What motivated me was basically growing up, my grandfather owned his own business. Like, I've never really been taught how to work for someone. I have great skills. Like, I'm a great team player. I can work on a team. I have leadership qualities, but he always taught me how to run our own business from his landscaping business and how to treat your customers, interact. And my cousin and I were sitting around thinking one day, and we were like, this is what we've been taught. We should apply to own our own business. I figured, multiple streams of income. If I can start my own business, I can eventually make my own path. I can be my own CISO if I want to, even if I need to move to another position. And let's say I'm not getting the hands-on experience at my current job. For me, having my own business, I can present case studies. I can present things like that where I can get my foot in the door more often. So I decided, like we were talking about on the Black Men in Cyber panel, we were talking about making your own lane. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make my own lane. I started out a little rough trying to find customers with the whole COVID situation going on, but I decided to take what I knew best, which was I've done policies and procedures, I've done audits, I've helped with vulnerability scans. So I decided just to take what I was doing at my previous job and that I had experience with and just translate it into a business for myself.
Absolutely. I applaud you because I've been a big proponent of build your own table.
Yeah.
You know, especially in this field where you have your gatekeepers or whatever you want to call them, you know, that feel like certain people should be in certain positions. The fact that, like you said, you know, you can be your own CISO, that's amazing. So kudos to you. So, you know, but my other question is, just like I asked my previous guests, is where do you find the time to do all of that? Because, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, you're building the business, you're building the table, but you still need to have the resources to make sure you get the supplies to build.
Yeah.
So between doing that, running the business, learning the skills and learning the game, where do you find time and what do you do to step away? Because that's another thing that I want to touch on that I don't think I've visited in the previous episodes.
So how I step away is throughout at my job now, so I'm in a call center, when there's downtime, there's lulls, then I'm looking up stuff for my business. Either I'm looking up information security stuff, I'm looking up lead generations. I'm just trying to give 10, 15, 20 minutes here or there just to read it, or even if I can't read it, just generate those links and send it to myself and store it so that way I can come back at a future time. What I found works best for me, I'm getting back in this groove now of trying to do morning 5 a.m. workouts. I found out that back a while ago I did the same thing, but I found out that most people who are successful, they start their day 2 hours ahead of everyone else, whether it be just to meditate, whether to work on their business, whether it be to exercise. So I'm like, if I can go out, wake up 2 hours early, there's no traffic, there's nothing, no headaches, I can sacrifice that extra 2 hours to do what I have to do physically, whatever else I want to do. You know, I come home in the evening, I can set aside those 2, 3, 4 hours that I need to work on my business, or even if I just need to step away and say, you know what, I'm rewarding myself with video games. I've worked hard. I can go ahead and do that. And then on the weekends is when I try and take a break, watch football every now and then. I may look up stuff while I'm watching a game I don't care about, and then try and see friends. So I try and keep most of my work throughout the week, and then on the weekends, just relax a little bit, or just not go as intensive heavy as I need to for my business.
That's great. That's important. I'm still learning that lesson myself to make sure to find the time. So you know, you said you know you make the time for yourself, you know, whether it's video games or watching stuff. Have you ever dealt with burnout, and if so, how did you manage your way through it?
Yeah, I did have burnout, but it was with my previous job. We were going through a SOC audit, and it was just taking those time. It was just coming home and just having to completely just disconnect from everything. I could do Twitter and see it with my friends, but I had to put the laptop down. I had to find something that took my mind off of it, or it'll be after work, going to work out with some coworkers. That way, I just have my mind off of that work, that stress load. And it's really about finding the time and then knowing when you're reaching that level. It's better if you don't hit burnout and you manage yourself throughout the course, like through a course of a week or maybe 2 weeks. You're like, okay, I've done this, I've done that. Kind of pick a day to recenter yourself and assess where you need to be and assess what type of rest you need.
Okay. So in your training and in your learning so far, what has been your favorite? What has been, like, whether it's a technique, whether it's something on, you know, pen tester related, what have you seen that just like excites you and to learn more about it?
It's the vulnerability scans. Like, for some reason I love coming through vulnerability scans. It tells me a lot about what could be going on with a system, and just seeing the different things out there actually helped me with my security plus test, or when I was doing some of my pre-tests. Like, I remember I was looking through ports one time. They asked me a question about ports. I was like, I didn't really study ports, but I've seen this port on a vulnerability scan over and over and over. So I automatically knew what port it was. So it just kind of gave me it gave me the fundamental knowledge. And then you're sitting up there, you're looking at CVEs and kind of reading through what's going on. So that kind of really excites me, is the whole CVE aspect of it right now.
Okay. So as you're, like I said, so again, coming from your perspective of someone who's getting into it while, you know, running the business, if someone were to approach you now and ask for your advice on what they could do to get into it, and I'm pretty sure there are some questions, and I have one that I wanted to answer on the air and give you a chance to answer too. But what advice would you share to those who are trying to get into the field?
Into the field, be patient. It can be a lot at times. My biggest suggestion is go to meetups. Like look for a meetup. Sometimes it may be that they want to eventually sell you something, where there's like, hey, come take this class. But you may find like a capture the flag course. Like, I'm not that good at capture the flag, but I went out there one time. I was meeting people and they're like, oh, hey, and they're really helpful, giving you tools of how to navigate Linux and things like that. And you really just get your foot out there, and just it gives you a chance to be comfortable around people. So networking is big, because one thing you have to be able to do in InfoSec is communicate to people, because there's going to be times when, you know, you had a pen test result come in, or you had a scan come in, and you need to go tell it to the sysadmins or the development team what's going on. You can't just beat them over the head and be like, you need to get this done, you need to get this done. Sometimes you have mitigating stuff that's in factor. Sometimes they just need it broken down to them. So you have to be able to talk technically to somebody, but also talk to business leaders at the same time. So get your communication skills up, go out there, be able to network. There's lots of conferences. There's lots of free ones now. That would be one of my biggest advice. And then find the free labs. If you can find a lab, there's plenty of them on Twitter, everywhere. If you need to know how to set up a Kali Linux, it's you. Like I bookmark your pen testing, how to secure it all the time. I look back, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna read through this, make sure there's tons of people, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, ask questions, but as we said before, in some of our other panels, we want to see you do a little bit of research first before you ask questions. Not everyone knows the answer, but don't be afraid to reach out and engage the people.
No, absolutely. That's major. You know, you reaching out and networking, but to your point about even dealing with the communication issues, it's almost like sometimes you have to code switch within talking to different clients in the same building.
Yeah.
So you have one way to speak to your technical folks, you know, the sysadmins and the network admins and stuff, and then you have another way to speak to the C-level executives. And I keep saying this, and again, forgive me if you're a C-level executive, don't take offense to this, but it's almost like I feel like you have to dumb it down for the higher ups than for the people doing the grunt work and tech work. Yeah. So, you know, definitely communication is key. And also the communication, the confidence, and this is again knowing the technical stuff, because that shows. If you're confident in your findings, it'll show when you're displaying those vulnerabilities. So definitely learning the communication and learning the technical aspects of it. So we touched on it. We touched on you know, what you like so far. We touched on the advice. Now I asked this to all my guests. When you are having a hard time at it, right? Because let's be real, InfoSec is not everybody's cup of tea all the time.
Yeah.
Anybody who tells you that they've had a great experience, you know, their entire career, either A, hasn't been in too long, or B, is lying. I like to ask people what their why is. So, you know, when those days where it's difficult, you know, you run a business, so, you know, you may not be getting those leads. Yeah. You may not be, you know, learning what you wanted to learn fast enough. What keeps you going?
What keeps me going is I'm from Miami. I'm not supposed to be here. Like, let's be honest, I'm not supposed to be here, whether it's from being from Miami or it's the fact that I was born premature. Like I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. Not in a way that, things are against me. A lot of times, a lot of factors have been against me, but I've always persevered. And I had a praying grandmother, had praying family. And I look at where I'm at now and I'm like, hey, I'm their dreams. Like I'm living out their dreams, but there's more that I can accomplish. I know that they're behind me saying, there's more that you could do. You can go even higher. Like the sky is the limit. And it keeps pushing me, and my faith keeps pushing me. And at times it gets rough, but I'm like, okay, every challenge it's a test. It's something for you to get over. It's something to figure out how to adapt, how to change, or maybe it's a different route. Everything happens for a reason is how I look at it. So whenever I'm having a hard time, I kind of pray, refocus. I talk to other people in the field that I may know, and then I kind of get my courage back. I talk to like some of my friends, and I realize, hey, I kind of inspire people as well, as far as in my friends group and things like that. And I look up to people and other people. We all feed off each other energy. So that's what really just keeps me going. Like I just feel like I just can't stop to feel sorry for myself, or because it's hard. Like life to me, there's going to be challenges, and I need to step up to the par and see what I can do.
That's what's up. And that definitely speaks volumes. Like I said, I didn't know about InfoSec or Tech Twitter until maybe, like I said, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I didn't know about Black Tech Twitter maybe shortly after that. And it definitely helps to see, not that you're rooting for people to fail, but it kind of helps to see certain people that you can relate to have some of the same issues, go through some of the same struggles, and like you said, even reach out and talk to each other and help uplift one another. So that's major, especially in 2020, the year 2020, which has just been ridiculous, whether it's just whatever it is or COVID. That's definitely important. So what's next for you? We got a few more weeks left in 2020. Lord willing, we'll see. We'll all see 2021. What's on the horizon for you in 2021?
In 2021, I'm hoping success. Well, first, I hope we get back with the podcast. We're revamped and we're ready to go, and everything's fine. Hope that my business is successful. That's what I'm pushing for. Getting a strong base and building my momentum. I'm actually going to be studying for my CISSP in 2020. Yeah, it's a it's a big boy, but I'm ready. Thank God for Share the Mic and Cyber, because when they did the donations, it helped me help sponsor for me to go ahead and be able to take that test. So I'm gonna start studying in January, and I will be on Twitter asking for resources or just picking people's brains. So,
well, I'm gonna tell you right now, download the CISSP Sunflower.
Okay.
That's definitely a document worth having in your collection of study materials, okay, especially on that last week or two before when you need to cram. All right. Well, I also like to give people an opportunity, to flex a little bit. So, if you want to talk about where they can find you, what you're doing, this is your opportunity.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram with Trent B55. That's my personal one. I do talk about sports, not just InfoSec related. So you're going to get a whole bunch of tweets, whether it's sports, video games, anime. I keep it clean, so it's fine. I just want to let you guys know it's not going to be InfoSec all 24/7. If you want to find my company, it is Visual Torch, visualtorch.com. It's under the same on Twitter and Instagram under Twitter / Visual Torch.
Okay.
And find Partner Penetration on YouTube at Partner Penetration.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, check that show out. Support it, especially when it comes back. I'll definitely be supporting it. If you want to tell your co-host, if they want to join, get on the show, they're welcome here as well. So I want to thank you for joining. But we're gonna get into some Q&A real quick. But before we do that, actually, I'm gonna do something different. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to talk to the people. You let them know where to find you, but talk to the people and give them some words of encouragement. because like these last couple of weeks is just, I don't know about you, but the last couple of weeks for me have been a struggle. So
it's been hectic. We've made it through 2020 this far. Like we just got to keep pushing. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. It's just a test. We will get out of this stronger. We'll get better. Take the time at the end to hone your skills, get your game up, get ready for 2021. Because I feel like when 2021 hits and this whole thing lifts, people are gonna hit the ground running. So it's time. Stock up your skills, whether it's for certs, whether it's personal goals, whether it's fitness goals. Just get ready and get in the mindset that we're going to be ready to work in 2021. So I'm ready to hear people's success stories. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. And like I said, everybody build that table. You know what? Build that. Even if you have a great job, build that table. Like Trent said earlier, multiple streams of income, being your own boss. Whatever it is, have something that's yours. Ownership is key. And like I said, I don't care if it's knitting, quilts or whatever it is, whatever. Put a business name on it, get an LLC, own that shit.
Yep, get your LLC, get your domain, like get your business account, go do it. Whatever it is, whatever can bring you joy. Like I don't care, you just shooting pictures of your cat and you can make money off of it. Go do it.
And it's like, I'm saying, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's not about making money, because making money is always the ultimate goal. But again, just having that sense of ownership that this is yours. Like I said, it could be a blog site, it could be something, but have something to fall back on. We don't know what's gonna happen. The economy can go to crap tomorrow. We don't know, but social media can go away, the followings can go away. So have something that's yours. Have an email list, have, subscribers, something that you could reach out to the people, create. I mean, there's, if it's one thing I've learned in the time of COVID, there's a lot of creative thinking people out there, and there are a lot of resources for creative minds. Whether it's creating videos on social media, not necessarily TikTok, but, TikTok, Byte, I can't Triller or whatever it is, there's different things. Content creation is important, and you can turn that into so many things. So take advantage of it. If it's the one thing that came out of COVID, is that it forced people to think outside of the box a little. So whether we go back to normal or whether this is the new normal, don't forget that thinking. So with that, I'm gonna open it up for some Q&A.
All right, I'm ready to roll.
Let's see what's going on. First of all, Ty Wilson says, "Who are you and what have you done with Davin?" I listened to Ty. He told me I can't go off and cuss everybody else out all the time. but thank you. Keep It Techie says, "Can I get you on for an interview?" I'm not sure if that was directed to me or Trent or both. But
most definitely, I'm with it.
And yeah, let me know. We set it up. Like I'm all for it. So let's do the damn thing. Let's see. Julius Rowe says, "D Jackson Trent, great content and appreciate the good vibes." Well, I thank you for the support, sir. I thank you for the continued support. I know you've been on here a couple times. It goes a long way. Sometimes, I don't care if it's two people. It's two people more than talking to yourself. So that means I'm not crazy. And Keep It Techie came back, says, "Yeah, great interview. Salute to you, brothers, pushing this tech content." Salute to you. Like I know you got some great content going on. What you're doing on YouTube as well. And like I said, I'm all for it. So let's set something up. So Keep It Techie says, "What are some programming languages that Trent, and recommend?"
I've done C++, C, and Java. Java's probably my favorite one when I was doing it in college. Java's like the easiest for me. Python didn't seem too bad when I was looking at it. So I would suggest probably Python. I think a lot of people can run scripts through Python, and Java's pretty good. The thing about programming languages is kind of once you learn one programming language, you just got to get into the syntax of the other one, because all of the other things make sense, whether it's like running a loop or calling out an object. You kind of get it, but you just got to know the syntax between the different languages.
Right. And I say the same thing. Python, JavaScript, or Java. I heard Go is a really good one to learn. I haven't looked at it yet, but like I said, anything that'll help. So and you're absolutely right. Once you learn one or two, it's just a matter of changing up certain syntaxes. So let's see. I actually got a question from someone on Instagram. To my Facebook and Instagram followers, I have not forgotten about you. I'm considering moving the stream onto Facebook or on Instagram. I just I have a love-hate relationship with the Facebook platform, so I'm working on it. But in the meantime, please check me out here. Check me out on Twitter, on Twitch, and on YouTube. And like I said, the audio version of the podcast will be coming soon on your streaming platforms. So let's see. I don't want to say your name, but he says he currently works as a maintenance scheduler. He's a power electrician by trade for a utility company. However, he's not very passionate in, he doesn't really have any passion in it. He's always enjoyed computers and cybersecurity and always had an interest in it. So he's asking, where does he start? He doesn't really have a networking IT background, but he considers himself to be a quick learner. And he said he started reading lots of books, signed up for some free courses on different platforms. He's hoping once he's done reading and all of that, he'll be able to challenge and take the EJPT certification exam. That's a penetration tester certification. And is there anything else that we could recommend? He has a wife and 2 kids, so they're, the finances are a little tight to go, so he can't really go back to school and get his bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So that's a lot to go through, but I'm gonna leave that one to you first.
Okay. See, I would, first of all, Udemy has some great courses for whichever avenue that you want to go. There's also a lot of great people that are on YouTube, like we recommended. You could probably go with a help desk role a little bit just to get your feet wet, getting back into IT and troubleshooting. With him being doing scheduled maintenance, I would think like a networking will kind of suit as far as transition easier for his background a little bit. You do need to know networking to have a good background. I'm going to be honest, I struggle with networking. That's something I have to personally get good at, but there's a lot of people who do networking. And then if you want to be a pen tester, yeah, networking would be great. So you know how to capture package, you'll be able to look through package and things like that. So I would say to start going in that route, maybe the help desk role, kind of like networking, and then from there, once you get a solid foundation with that, I would recommend moving on to pen testing. But there's a lot of free resources out there. I mean, if I find some, I'll retweet them. DFI or Diva, she posts a lot of great resources as well. So
I shouted her out earlier.
Okay, so if he's on any type of social media, he can follow us, follow them, kind of retweet who we retweet, follow who we retweet, and you may find some good resources out there.
Yep. I will add on to that. I agree 100%. Networking is important. I would say look at getting your Network Plus certification just to understand the basics and get that foundation. Do something like a networking help desk. Cable companies, believe it or not, it's a call center job. The hours are long and sometimes it can be a little difficult, but that definitely will help you, especially dealing with their cable internet and troubleshooting their router and all of that. If you want to move into the cybersecurity space, you definitely want to know your networking ports, and you definitely want to know subnetting and stuff like that. You want to be able to capture package. You want to know the difference between a TCP/IP and UDP packets. And like I said, with pen testing, you have to know your ports, and you have to be able to kind of know that like the back of your hand. Like, by default, 22 is SSH, 21 is FTP, 23 Telnet, 80 is HTTP, 443 HTTPS. So you want to know these things because you need to know what you're looking at when you're running your Nmap scans, or you want to try to connect to something on Netcat, or you want to, understand where the vulnerability lies on the web server. There's a lot of different things you can use the networking for. So definitely learn that. Udemy, I am a big supporter of Udemy. They're always having a sale. I think I just retweeted last night that they're having a sale. I actually have an article that I wrote on my blog about some Udemy courses you can get, and wait for them to be on sale because they're always on sale. Will help you learn these things and gain these skills. If you want to go to free route, there's YouTube. You can get the free version of Cybrary. You can get the free version of Try Hack Me, the free version of Hack the Box, but I still think you need to get that networking stuff before you start working on some hands-on pen testing. So I would definitely take a look at all of that. So let's see. Next question is, what are your guys' thoughts on IT automation, Ansible or Puppet? I think there's a place for automation. I still think there's also going to be a place for hands-on skills. It just, you hear some people on one side of the fence thinking, it's Terminator, like Skynet's going to take over with all the cloud smart houses and automation. But like I said, there's just some things that automation can't teach, especially phishing, which in my profession is always the easiest way to get into somebody's than actually trying to do some physical or technical hacking. Why do I need to crack a password when I can just ask you or set or devise, come up with an email that tricks you into thinking it's the real thing and you give it to me? So you can automate email phishing, but you can't automate, phone phishing or stuff like that. So there's a place for it. It's just your preference, Trent.
Exactly. It's going to be a tool, and you're going to need someone who's going to be able to manage it and be able to. It's really just, it's a tool that's going to be used to help us. I don't think it's going to knock out tons of jobs like everyone is scared of, but you're still going to need that human aspect with anything you do. You're going to need the interpretation. You're going to need people to fix stuff when it goes wrong. When the automation tool breaks, then where you at? You're just sitting there.
Right.
You need someone to be able to do stuff manually as well so you can get it back up.
And as far as Ansible or Puppet, I really don't have a preference or say in either way. I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable enough to really speak on that. Right. And let's see, moving on from help desk positions. I would just say, in your free time, you would get some, study. Hold on. Study and get the hands-on skills. Help desk, it has its benefits. I started from help desk. I might be showing my age a little bit, but I started from the PC repair desk. I was a fire dog technician at Circuit City. So it went from, PC repairs and upgrades, adding RAM to a computer or replacing or swapping out a hard drive or a CD drive or something. So these are all things that, these are different skill sets that you can take with you as you progress through your career. So for a help desk type role, again, I would learn what you can learn from the troubleshooting, because that is always something you're going to need in whatever it is you do, whether it's networking, pen testing, regular IT work, sysadmin, developer, whatever. You're going to need to know how to troubleshoot if something goes wrong. So take that mindset and just build on it. And it's just, the hours are going to be long and grueling some nights when you're studying. But again, this is where that your why matters, because that's going to be your motivation. It's all up to you. Like, it's there just to get the skill set and get the knowledge, and then apply it and show that you can apply it in a semi real world setting to move on. And then the final thing is just to go for it. One of my biggest regrets in cybersecurity was that I didn't jump on it a lot sooner. I felt like I needed to get all the way up to like admin level before I could become a junior pen tester. So I feel like I may have taken 1 or 2 years a little bit long and than what was necessary. So, just go for it. Get the skills and go for it. And that's what I got.
I would say be patient. Also, everything that I agree 100%. I'll say be patient. It sometimes it's hard to get out of it, but be patient. Also, don't be afraid to talk to other people in your IT community at work. Whether get your not brown nosing, but go over there, talk with the CISO, talk with someone on the security team, offer to help out on some projects. Try and take on some projects within your help desk position if you can, if the time allows. So that way they can kind of get that visibility of you. And also, don't be one of those people who freak out when everything breaks. That tends to happen. You have to be able to remain calm. Sometimes you don't think that the CISO or someone's watching you, but they do. They see how you interact and things like that. So that's just the outside of the technical skills. That's one thing that I would advise. Always be mindful. Make sure you're putting your best foot forward with everything you do. So that way, if they come to your manager about you, or you're seeking out for positions, there you can show that you've taken the extra step to do stuff and set yourself apart.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Any other questions? I think we are good so far. Before I go, I like to give people their flowers, while they can smell them. So kudos to you, sir, with everything that you're doing. You're doing amazing work. Like I said, I've been following you for a while, whether it's the podcast, whether it's seeing what you're doing. I mean, even you could see the passion, and then also the work-life balance on your social media following. So, keep up with that. Keep me posted. Like I said, anybody who's on here can always be a guest. Like every time I do the show, I share the link. You are always welcome here. Just keep up the hustle and keep building that table, man.
Will do. Thank you, and keep pushing yourself. Like I always look for your tweets, Ty's tweets, even when he's tweeting about how his Patriots are killing him.
Patriots suck. No.
I'm a fan, so I gotta talk my mess while I can. But yeah, just thank you. Like you've done a lot for the community. Your blog, like follow this man's blog, follow the books he recommends. Like thank you for everything you do. Like I want to give you your flowers as well.
No, I appreciate it. And also, like I said, I started a buy me a coffee page. So I do want to acknowledge the people who have supported. So Kenya, again, DFIR Diva, Elon Wright, and David Fraley, also known as Makeshift, I think on Twitter.
Okay.
Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I love it. Like I said, it's going to go directly into making this a lot better. And like I said before, I want to speak to everybody from, the people who aren't even in cybersecurity, but have an interest, to the top level people, the big names. I want to focus on everybody and give everybody a platform. So if you have anybody you want to recommend, anybody who's listening or watching that has anybody they want to recommend, or if you want to be a guest, hit me up on social media, hit up somebody who may know me on social media, and reach out. And like I said, no one is going to be turned away. As long as I have the platform and I have the time to do it, let's do it. So as long as you're respectful, like I said, I told Ty, I'm trying to deal with this growth, but the Bridgeport in me can come out real quick. So just remember, whatever energy you give is the energy you're going to get back. But like I said, keep grinding, staying safe, stay safe out there, and keep building that table. And I will see you guys next week. I appreciate it. It's all love, and you guys take care.